Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today on this Monday morning. We're starting the last week of October here as we're going to be wrapping up the month. And we're getting started with your nonstop news and weather to help you plan your day. A federal agency is looking into Fargo Public Schools' use of seclusion and restraints after receiving multiple complaints.
In a story you'll see first on Valley News Live, parents and advocates had the chance to share their stories with investigators yesterday. They're asking for change, including a staff that can meet the needs of special education students, understanding what a restraint is, and transparency for families.
We want to make sure that children with disabilities in all schools, and certainly in Fargo Public Schools, have free, appropriate public education in the least restrictive environment.
Federal investigators say this case is a priority.
Police are sorting out the details of a call that came in as an armed robbery in South Moorhead, but turned out to be something a lot less serious. They were told a man broke down a door and threatened someone with a gun Saturday night in the 2200 block of 14th Avenue South. But officers found no evidence of forced entry. The caller says he and the other man are involved in an ongoing property dispute.
Officers spoke with the suspect and say he was cooperative with their investigation. No one was arrested. Police say they will forward the case to the county attorney if they determine a crime was committed. A 13-year-old boy from Moorhead who ran away from home last month has been found.
Joshua Newmayer is now with his legal guardian, thanks to what police say was an observant citizen. He was found yesterday morning.
10 minutes before 7, let's get a check of our Storm Team forecast on this Monday morning.
Good morning. Today, starting off with some cloud cover out there. It's starting to move on, though, very slowly, so we'll end up with some sunshine heading into the rest of the morning. And on top of that, we've got some chilly temperatures this morning, too. We're into the teens and 20s in the valley. So looking at the afternoon planner here for Fargo, you can see those numbers will rise. We'll end up into the 30s to about 40 degrees for your high today. So not warm, but it could be a lot worse, we'll say here, with wind coming in out of the southwest into the teens and at times some gusts into the 20s. So here's a look at your temperatures. We are into the 20s, upper 20s and mid to upper 20s, I'd say, for northwest Minnesota, right along the Red River. Fargo's at 27 degrees. It's a lot colder the farther west we are. In fact, in Oaks, it's 18 degrees right now, so it's chilly there. Factor in some of that wind, and we're talking wind chills in the single digits. It feels like 6 degrees in Oaks. It feels like 7 in Devil's Lake, so it might be time to grab that heavier coat here this morning as you get it ready to head out the door. 18 is our wind chill in Fargo. Wind is light in some spots. Other places, we've got those winds into the teens at the moment. So here's a look at your radar and satellite map. Radar detecting some snowflakes in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. We might be seeing a few of these flying around in some of those places up in the northern valley, but overall a dry start to the day. You could see the cloud cover, very faint, the low-level cloud cover that's clearing from west to east here this morning. And a quick look at that hour-by-hour planner. Expect to, as we head toward the noon hour, to see a lot of sunshine across much of the region, with winds again at times gusting into the 20s. And taking a look out west, another quick system is going to be approaching the Devil's Lake area for tonight. It may bring about a quick little dusting of snow in that area, but it will be kind of fizzling out as it moves eastward too. So by the time we get into the late night hours, not much to show here in the valley. We're looking at some quieting conditions and that system kind of falling apart at the same time, but still can't rule out a flake or two into the overnight hours tonight. Heading into tomorrow, dry but quiet and cool for us for this first half of the week. For the Halloween day here on Thursday, expect to have temperatures into the 30s to about 40, trick-or-treat time into the 30s, and then this weekend a couple of shots of some light snow. But other than that, looking pretty quiet and cool this week as we transition into November. And now for a look at traffic, here's Devin Fry with the Valley Today's traffic on the move.
Thank you, Lisa, and good morning, Red River Valley. Now, traffic flow on the interstates started off busier than normal this morning, and it's only continued to build as we get closer and closer to the start of the school or work day. Now, it's still not slowing down traffic by any means, especially here in the eastbound lanes. We're still moving relatively freely, and everyone's going about the speed limit, but it's definitely busier over in the westbound lanes. Everything still seems to be moving freely over there, but it's going to keep getting busier and busier as the morning goes on. So something to watch out for when you start your day. Now, speaking of stuff to watch out for, there's going to be new road work going on in West Fargo. Main Avenue, 5th Street, and 9th Street are all going to be facing lane closures for some sewer construction. So it's going to be head-to-head traffic in those areas. That's going to be starting today. We checked by there earlier and it hadn't started yet, but it's going to be going a little later on. We're going to keep checking in the roadways in the next hour on the Fargo CW, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
Minnesota Vikings backup safety Jaron Kearse has been arrested on suspicion of driving while impaired and with a loaded gun. The Minnesota State Patrol says a trooper stopped Kearse just before 4 yesterday morning after seeing a Mercedes drive around a barricade onto a closed portion of I-94 in Minneapolis.
The patrol says his blood alcohol level was above the legal limit and he did not have a permit for the gun. One person is dead and another is hurt after a motorhome fire in the Twin Cities. St. Paul firefighters found fire and smoke pouring from the front of the vehicle Saturday night.
They say the cause of that fire is presumed to be a mechanical failure and accidental. A South Dakota man is recovering from wounds from a flare gun. Police in Sioux Falls say it started out as a call Friday night about someone with a gunshot wound.
But it turns out the man accidentally shot himself in the leg with a modified flare gun. He is in stable condition. In our consumer alert this morning, Halloween is just a few days away now, and many of you are getting ready to break out the costumes. So we have some safety reminders for your family as everyone gets ready for the fun. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says there are an estimated 4,500 Halloween-related injuries that happened last year that required treatment of emergency room care. Nearly half from carving pumpkins.
Experts say the kids should grab a spoon and scoop out the insides or use a marker to trace the design. But you should leave the pumpkin carving to the adults. Also, make sure the costumes fit properly and use reflective tape if the kids are out after dark. Moms and dads can connect with their kids Thursday night by making sure your child's cell phone is charged before they head out and running their route on the Next Door app's Treat Map.
There are all sorts of smartphone tools to help you remind them of curfews, keep tabs on their location, and if you can, mark if you're offering allergy-safe treats. It's also a good idea to use a handheld or phone flashlight to increase visibility.
And when Halloween is over, you might think to toss that old jack-o'-lantern in the yard waste, but don't. The city of Moorhead and Clay County want to keep them out of the landfill, and they're asking people instead to dump them into one of 4 special recycling stations.
They're taking Jack back at the Public Works building on 15th Avenue North in Moorhead, the Southside Regional Park at 23rd Street and 40th Avenue South, 418 Elm Street near Woodlawn Park, and also at the Oakport compost site. Pumpkins collected will be composted at a local farm. Conversation is better with coffee. That's the motto at a local coffee shop. Bully Brew is where we find the Valley Today's Abby Kirchner this morning.
And she joins us live from their North Fargo location. And Abby, I think everything in life is better with a cup of coffee.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. That is the best outlook you can have on life, is make sure you have that coffee in hand, especially on a Monday morning like this. But we're going to mix it up a little bit. I'm here with Maggie at that North Fargo location. It's Bully Brew's newest location right across from NDSU's campus. But I am a huge coffee lover. I don't know how I'd survive without it, but not everybody is. And so, Maggie, you guys have a lot of options here at Bully Brew for those non-coffee lovers as well.
Yep, we sure do. So we have Italian sodas, and then today we're actually going to make a London Fog. So that's going to be Earl Grey tea, vanilla syrup, and then steamed milk.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this. Okay, so what do you even start with?
So you start by steeping the tea for about 3 minutes. So we already have that going, and then we'll add our vanilla syrup, which if you want to go ahead and pour that in.
They're making me a barista this morning, so I have to get to work. So dump that in. Ooh.
Yeah. And then we did already start steaming our milk, so we'll finish steaming that quickly.
And what I like about this is this process is pretty easy, so you could honestly, create this at home too if you want to spice up your tea.
Definitely. Yep,
This is a nice little break from coffee during the day to end your day with. That mid-afternoon kick, though, if you need just something warm, especially on a cold afternoon, but then you just dump the milk in.
Yep. So you just top it off with the steamed milk. It's about half and half.
Ooh.
And then you get that nice foam on the top there. And then I always give mine a little stir to make sure that vanilla goes all the way through. And voila.
Oh my goodness. I don't know why I have to smell everything, but I feel like Oh my goodness, that is so good. Oh, with that vanilla too, that adds a really nice flavor. So there are so many things you can get here at Bully Brew Coffee. I'm working my way, finishing up my cold brew here, but there's just so much, there's something for everyone here, and there's so many personal touches. Very definitely, it's a local store. They roast their own beans. Delicious. I'll have to bring you guys back some so you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, we'll drink it. You
I was
bring
about
it,
to
we
say,
drink
not
it.
gonna say no to that. Abby Furchner reporting live from North Fargo, real close to NDSU. Let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. That question, 1 in 25 people are carrying one of these right now.
I am not that one person. The answer, $100 bill, especially after the weekend on a Monday morning.
Yeah, yeah, that got spent at places.
For sure. You can play along by heading to our Valley News Live Facebook page. A start of kind of a cool start again to start the week.
Yeah, especially when you factor in the wind. We've got wind chills that are into the teens, even single digits this morning. So bundle up. We'll reach a high of about 40 today with some flurries for us later on this evening. A quiet week, but a cool one ahead.
The Today Show on CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley today rolls